How do I increase my supply of breast milk and my breast milk production? Hi ladies, it's Abby McKenna from Ready Set Mum, and today we're going to give our 10 top tips to help you increase your breast milk supply. Now, this was a hot topic when I was breastfeeding and just as a mum. It was something that we spoke about a lot. It's a big concern amongst mothers, and I know a lot of mums really struggle, especially in the beginning, with their milk supply. Now, I had nights where I was completely dry and I couldn't get anything out for my babies, and then I had other nights where it was literally just pouring out and leaking and I couldn't stop it. I remember that there were times when I was expressing, because I also expressed into a bottle, and I used to put milk in the freezer for later on, that I would sit there and some days 10 minutes I'd have 3 bottles of milk, and some days I'd be there for 3 hours and I couldn't even get 10 mils of milk. But through trial and error, I found some things that really worked for me. So what we've done here at Ready Set Mum is we've taken our best tips for things that we have used and worked. We've also done some research and we've spoken to other mums to put together our 10 top tips for increasing breast milk supply and production. Tip number 1. Take care of yourself and get rest. At the end of the day, your baby is taking a lot of nutrients. You're supplying your baby with really good, healthy goodness through your breast milk, but it means that you also need to replenish what's being taken out, and you can't do that properly without getting the rest that you need. So this is permission, if you need to call your mum or your grandma or your auntie or your next door neighbor or your best friend and get them to come around and take your kids for a little bit so that you can restore your body through rest and sleep. Tip number 2, drink water. Stay hydrated. Fruit infused water if you get sick of water, juice, but your breast milk is fluid. You get so thirsty when you are expressing or breastfeeding. It is ridiculous. You literally get the dries. You get so thirsty. So make sure you've got a big bottle of water there so you can constantly drink while you are breastfeeding, but stay hydrated throughout the day. I used to carry around a water bottle with hours of the day marked on it, so I knew that I was drinking, and I would just keep up with those markers on my water bottle. You can also set an alarm on your phone to remind you to drink, but the key to remember is that if you're getting thirsty, you're already starting to get dehydrated. So try and drink as much as you can often throughout the day so that you are staying hydrated. You can produce breast milk and you're not leaving yourself in the lurch when it comes to that time. Tip number 3, food. There are so many great foods that have been proven to help to increase the supply and production of your breast milk. And you know what? The key to this, ladies, because you've got enough on your plate already, is not to overcomplicate it. Let's just make it simple and incorporate it into whatever you're already eating. Nuts are absolutely fantastic, things with really good healthy fats. So I used to keep a little bowl of nuts next to me while I was breastfeeding, because you also get really hungry while you're breastfeeding, and I used to just pig out while I was feeding or while I was expressing. Garlic has been proven to be absolutely fantastic, so put garlic in your dips, put them in the blender with your dips, or put them on your roasts. Roast garlic and eat them, whatever you need to do. This is your key to run around with stinky breath, because it's actually helping your babies. And then things like carrots and spinach are also really fantastic. When it comes down to it, ladies, literally what you're doing is replenishing what your breast milk is taking out. So any fruits and vegetables are always really good, but have roast. Have roast with carrots and spinach and potatoes and pumpkins and as many colors as you can. Now, another really good food to eat, and this has been researched through Asian cultures and it's recommended in Asian cultures, is seaweed. Now, I love seaweed. It isn't everyone's cup of tea, but it's really fantastic and full of iodine, which is really helpful in replenishing your body, but it's also really fantastic for milk production. So you can go out and get yourself some sushi for nori rolls, or you can just have it. I have like seaweed chips. I love it. But have a look out there, look on the internet at some really good foods. The other one is papaya. Papaya is said to be really fantastic. I used to make a really simple papaya salad with nuts on the top and fish. It used to just replenish my body with everything that I needed. It was absolutely delicious and it worked a treat. Tip number 4. This is another food, oatmeal, and this is a really popular one because it's really, really high in iron, and iron is something that your body needs to repair, but it's also really fantastic with producing breast milk. Now, oats and oatmeal, if you're like me, right, on their own, no good. But I used to make myself some booby bickies or some lactation cookies to help with the increase of my breast milk supply. Another thing that you might like to do is make oatmeal jars. So you literally get a jar and you put some milk in there or some yogurt in there or some fruit in there and let that go overnight in your fridge, and you've got a beautiful iron-rich breakfast full of antioxidants with the fruit and berries in the morning, ready for your body to go out there and make the milk that it needs to make. Tip number 5 is yeast. Drink beer! Not while you're breastfeeding or before you're breastfeeding, but yeast in drinks and also baker's yeast is really, really good for helping you to produce breast milk. So you might like to go out and get yourself some kombucha. I used to get baker's milk and put it in my juice or my water or my milk and bottoms up, slam that down because it had a bit of a funny texture. But you can also put it in your baking. So if you're baking cakes or lactation cookies, or if you bake your own bread, you can put it in there and it will actually help to increase your milk supply. And this is another food, is bone broth. Bone broth is so rich in vitamins and minerals, and when you've actually had a baby, it can help to replenish your body and repair, because you take out a lot of vitamins and minerals, not only growing your baby, also delivering your baby. And like we've just discussed, vitamins and minerals come out of your breast milk as well. You can get already made bone broth, and you can get some really healthy organic options out there, but it's really easy and really cheap to make yourself. All you need to do when you're at the butcher's or the supermarket is pick up some soup bones, put some vegetables in there, the ones that we've already spoken about, so pumpkins and carrots, throw some potatoes in there if you want, whatever you've got left over. I used to keep the skin from my sweet potato, the tops of my carrots in my freezer, throw them in there with some garlic, put some water in there, boil it really slowly for a good 6 or 7 hours, and you've got a really good vitamin, mineral, collagen-rich fluid to give yourself. The really cool thing about this is as well, you can use that bone broth as bases for your curries and your soups, and you're also replenishing the fluid when you consume it. Super plus. Tip number 7 is to feed or express often. Okay, breastfeeding and feeding itself and the production and supply of milk literally is a demand and supply situation. So when you're using your breast milk through breastfeeding or expressing, it sends a message to your body that it's being used and it needs to produce more. So the key to this is to do it as often as you can. If you are expressing, you can literally store that milky goodness in your freezer for up to a couple of months, and then you can bring it out on those days when you need to. I used to feed as often as I could on demand. So my children weren't on a schedule. When they were hungry, I would feed them. It was great for bonding, and it also keeps them settled. And I used to make sure that I fed them, or if I was expressing, that I would do so from both boobs, so that I, one, wouldn't have lopsided boobs, but my body was generating milk from both sides. Tip number 8, herbs. There's some really good herb substances out there and supplements out there, and also herbs that you can put into your food to help to produce milk. A really good one is fenugreek. Still not sure how to say it, but it's actually been proven to help to increase your milk production by up to 900%. I know so many mums that swear by it, and a lot of them don't actually like the taste. So what they will do is just go and get a supplement from the chemist and then take it in the morning and the nighttime. And I know lots of mums who swear by fenugreek and fenugreek. You can also put it into tea, and you can buy the seeds and use it in your cooking. Tip number 9. Milk tea. Now when I say milk tea, I mean tea that helps you to produce milk. So there are a lot of teas out there that you can buy to help increase your milk production. I had a beautiful organic one that I absolutely swore by. I still use it now today, and that may actually be the reason that I've still got milk in my breasts. I stopped breastfeeding my youngest Indiana nearly a year and a half ago, and I can still squeeze my breast in the shower and get a little bit of milk to come out. So I should probably stop drinking that tea. But I swear by increasing your milk supply by using special teas. Now, if you can get organic and really rich ones, you can actually rebrew that bag or that little pack of tea 3 or 4 times because they're really strong. I used to have one in the morning, one with my morning tea, and then again at night time. So if you can go out there and get yourself a really fantastic tea to help increase your milk supply, it also helps you to relax and to de-stress. De-stress, ladies. Your body just needs to replenish and put everything back into it so that it can continue to increase and produce your milk. A lot of milk production and milk supply comes from how well you're looking after yourself and what you've got available to be able to do that. Stress is one of the biggest factors where ladies seem to have trouble in producing milk. I know it was mine. If I was tired, if I felt overworked or anxious, I would really struggle to get any milk to come out of my boobs. So whatever you need to do to de-stress is absolutely vital. And I mean whatever you need to do. Whether that's take some time out from whatever's going on, whether that's have a nap, whether that's call your friends around, have that well-deserved and way overtime chat to your friends that you need to have, a nice bath, meditation, whatever it is. At the end of the day, look after yourself and keep yourself as less stressed as possible. So there you have it, ladies, our top tips for increasing milk supply and milk production. Make sure you give this a thumbs up and head across to our article for more fantastic information on how to increase your milk supply, and share this with a friend that you think might need it. We look forward to seeing you back here again really soon at Ready Set Mum.